and I'm going to say, hello world, this is important, pay attention to me. And somehow, somewhere, I'm sure that got around, because about a month later, no smoking at the Cambridge Marriott Hotel.
So what we decided was it's time to take one very important big step of no smoking at all. And we used our regional approach called Clean Air Works to work with the number of towns who were essentially around Cambridge and Boston. My colleague John Auerbach and I talked a great deal about how to do this particular initiative, and so we created a regional approach.
This is 7 News at 6.
Implementing the smoke-free regulation was a huge victory for Mayor Tom Menino, who praised the new law at a news conference held inside a nightclub.
From New York to Dublin, we are seeing that a smoke-free environment is the wave of the future.
This is News Center 5.
Boston's ban on workplace smoking, which includes more than 2,000 bars and restaurants, began this week. Some facilities had already instituted bans, like the bar at the Cambridge Marriott.
I've been working there for 17 years, 16 of the 17 a smoking environment. I started in 1999 working with the Cambridge Marriott. They took a courageous step in 2001 by going smoke-free, and we haven't lost any tips, any business, and it's been fabulous. The regulars who said they'd never come back are all sitting around my bar today. I make the same money, if not more.
I knew that this was right. And when you have that conviction, it's important for people to know that you can do it. You can do it.
We worked with the City of Worcester's Division of Public Health and took a bus of concerned voices into the State House and joined others from across the state in making our preferences known.
This is New England Midday.
A big turnout at the Massachusetts State House in Boston today for a public hearing on a statewide smoking ban.
It is time to go cold turkey on smoking in workplace and public areas.
Senator Susan Fargo was surrounded by dozens of people across the state who support her bill that would ban smoking in all workplaces in Massachusetts. They carried signs demanding clean air at the state's restaurants, bars, and nightclubs, saying it's critically important to the public's health.
Secondhand smoke is the third leading cause of preventable death. It's a Class A carcinogen, means it's in the same category as asbestos.
Diane Pickles is executive director of Massachusetts Coalition for a Healthy Future. She says secondhand smoke kills 53,000 people each year in the United States and more than 1,000 people in Massachusetts. Bartender Jody Troiano says the issue is personal to her. Her friend of 15 years died of lung cancer.
I was with her when she died. She promised me to never go back to smoking. I fulfilled that promise, but every day I went to work breathing in smoke. Felt extremely vulnerable to the conditions that I was working under.
Business owners in Boston, where a ban just went into effect, believe a statewide ban would protect employees like Jody and keep customers from going to places where smoking is allowed.
The greatest, proudest moment of my life to have been involved in making a change, not only in my hotel, not only in Cambridge, but the state of Massachusetts. Save lives. Save lives. That's what it's all about.
Tobacco Free Mass has over 80 organizational and individual members, and every quarter we have a meeting and we discuss what is the legislative agenda, what are the legislative priorities, what are the actions that have taken place. We typically have a speaker who comes in, so from anything from tobacco-free or smoke-free campuses to age 21 minimum legal purchase age presentations.
The 21 effort.
And so really it's an opportunity for anybody who's interested in Tobacco Free Mass or a member of Tobacco Free Mass to come and find out a little bit more about what are the advocates doing.
Getting more organizations and individuals engaged in our work and have an even greater impact at the State House.
Brookline is going to town meeting to go for.
What are the members doing?
As you all know, we're celebrating Roger Berkowitz, who was one of the first restaurateurs to go smoke-free voluntarily.
So that's, again, to continue to build our membership base. And some of the things that
I've been talking about with Carly and some of the 84 groups is, and what am I doing as the executive director on behalf of the Coalition of Tobacco-Free Mass?
We had a great event here today at the State House. We had Kick Butts Day, and we had over 200 youth from all around the state come into the State House today to talk to legislators about what it is they're seeing in their schools, what other kids are using, different tobacco products. There are different groups from what's called the 84, and that represents the 84% of students who actually don't use tobacco.
Hey folks, how's everybody doing today? There we go. Let's make this building up here today.
There's often a lot of peer pressure. Folks say, well, kids smoke because of the peer pressure, but there's 84%, and now actually we're up to 86% of youth who don't smoke, and we're trying to focus on those kids that don't smoke and have the peer pressure go the other way.
Anyone can buy an e-cigarette, regardless of their age. Anyone.
One thing that we know about the tobacco industry is that they have been targeting you since you were born.
When these young people from the 84 chapters go on to college, they are now becoming members of Tobacco-Free Mass. It's a nice, logical way for them to not only graduate from their high school, and they graduate from 84, but they graduate to Tobacco-Free Mass as a member of our organization.
Tobacco-Free Mass rocks!
I'm very glad for organizations like Tobacco-Free Mass.
Yeah.
Because it's organizations like that that keep this important issue on the front page.
That's right.
That keep us aware of the dangers of tobacco and the policies that will help to keep the public safe.
Tobacco-Free Mass is an organization of organizations. It is a coalition, and it's critical that we have as many people in this organization, as many organizations, small or large, that are supporting the mission to move the needle on tobacco and nicotine addiction.
I've had a terrific experience with Tobacco-Free Massachusetts in the last year as we've looked at the issue of campuses going smoke-free. Tobacco-Free Massachusetts was able to organize a statewide conference, bring together large numbers of universities and colleges, share best experiences, address some of the concerns that people had, and that completely worked to accelerate the consideration of that policy at campuses across the Commonwealth.
You know, we need to be vigilant, and we need the resources to continue to fight an industry that just is not going away.
It needs an environment where the tobacco use and soon coming up, the e-cigarette vaping kind of use has to be denormalized.
WBZ News at 11.
There is growing concern that e-cigarettes are luring teenagers into addiction.
Between 2011 and 2012, the self-reported rate of e-cigarette usage in high school doubled.
There are child-friendly flavorings like Sweet Tart and cotton candy.
Non-smokers think the problem is solved because they're not running into smoke in the course of their day. And so what they're not realizing is that their kids' backpacks may be filled with grape-flavored cigars or cotton candy, e-cigarette liquid, and they have no clue what's in that. So while the non-smoking adult thinks that the problem is solved, it actually isn't.
It's very important to have an organization like Tobacco-Free Mass to help push the issue, to keep the issue alive, to help to bring awareness and to look for solutions for addressing some of those issues.
They're great at pulling us all together and saying, what is going on in the field? What are the obstacles? What are some of the things you're hearing that can allow us to take that message to their membership and then to stakeholders, our legislative stakeholders?
Tobacco-Free Mass is doing, incredible, ground level, frontline work, and educating legislators, educating doctors, educating health centers, and how they can best fight this constant battle of people becoming addicted to tobacco.
It's a wonderful example that you can change behavior on a population basis by a well-funded comprehensive campaign.
It makes me proud that Tobacco Free Mass is going to be there for the future to fight all these new battles against the tobacco industry. And folks that are here tonight at the event are contributing to making Tobacco Free Mass sustainable, so that going forward in the future, Tobacco Free Mass will still be there and able to fight big tobacco.
Tobacco Free Mass must raise $200,000 each year to continue our work. Please consider donating to help us create a smoke-free generation for a truly tobacco-free Mass.